So this week I didn't actually plan an intro segment, but this episode is about Equinox. How you doing? How you doing? You doing okay? Cool. All right. Well, let's get to it. Okay, so, Equinox. She is amazing. I have fallen in love. Like a lot of players, I just had like a couple of builds for specialized stuff that I wanted to do. Like I had an Adaro build, and I had a Nuke build, and I was pretty happy with them. But I started playing with Duality, and it really forces you to use her whole kit, and only then did I really realize how dang much she can do. She's got pretty much everything. You want to top those damage numbers with a huge AoE DPS build? Bam! Single target damage? She's got that too. You want to make the most out of a great weapon? Duality, son. You want to turn those invasions into Speedwalking Simulator 2019? Guess what? They're already done. Shut down enemies on demand? Got it. Shut down entire rooms on demand? Sure, why not? Slow. Boom. Speed? Got that too. For you and for your enemies. You can buff the weapon damage of your friends. Bless it! Oh, what's that? They're spam casting instead? Buff that too. You can face tank. You can help your friends face tank. Just about the only thing she doesn't do is innate armor stripping or loot stuff like Necros, and Atlas, and Hydroid. If you want to be more generalized and versatile, you can build for that. You want to min-max for a specialized role, you can build for that too. And in many cases, she's one of the best. The only other frame that even comes close to having this much raw versatility is Octavia, and even then it requires some work from your squad mates to get access to those buffs. Equinox doesn't give two f***s. She just says, hey, this is how I want the mission to go, and that's how it goes.
Honey Badger don't give a shit, it just takes what it wants.
Because of her skill set and the fact that she has not only such a varied kit, but that it's spread out over so many different abilities and permutations of those ability combinations, means that unlike any of the other jack-of-all-trades frames, you can just focus on the parts you like, and the others effectively don't have to be utilized at all. Like a build-your-own-frame kind of frame. You want to play a battle mage type of tanky caster frame? You can do that. You want to play a glass cannon room nuker? A gap-closing, face-tanking melee DPS? Troll-heavy meme lord?
Gotcha, bitch!
You can do all of these things, every single thing. You can min-max for them individually, or you can generalize and do all of them together. If there's something that you want a frame to do or be, she probably already does it, and does it well. If I'd learned earlier exactly how much she could do and how well she can be optimized to do all those things, I probably would have put a lot more playtime into her a lot sooner. Anyway, I am probably gonna throw up just a couple of short videos about some of the more popular builds this week, but I just wanted to tell you guys about my new girlfriend. Okay, on with the show. Now it's time for an unpopular opinion.
Equinox's day-night cycle should be tied exclusively to the day-night cycle of the planes of Eidolon, which means that she can only be in day form during the day and night form during the night, regardless of where in the star chart she is.
You just watched Xenogelion giving an unpopular opinion. Brought to you by Xeneric Brand Energy Soda. Get energized.
Do you also feel that videos are generally quite long? Yeah, me too! Hey guys, my name is Michel, and this here is 2 Minute Slash Dash. Oh yeah, I'm so excited about this. Alright, 2 minutes on the clock, let's roll. Today we're talking about Equinox, one of the more complicated Warframes out there to acquire, build, and understand. Not only does Equinox have like 2 different forms, but each form also has its own ability set. That's like, what, 5, 6, 7 different abilities? But don't worry, let's talk you through what I call the ultimate solo team. To begin with, we're going to split up Equinox into day and night form. Day is all about strength and damage dealing, and night here is more for healing, and yes, actually putting enemies to sleep. I'll get back to the sleeping thing, but first let's talk damage. In the day form, the abilities you want to look out for are the second, Rage, which makes enemies more vulnerable for damage, and the fourth, Maim, which deals bleed damage and makes for a decent crowd control. The third ability, Provoke, increase your power strength, but as the maximum strength is only 50% that you can multiplicatively, additively increase the percentile with, Xeno, I don't think it's too important. Now, let's swap to night, fire our first ability. Boom, easy. For night, all the abilities are pretty amazing, so let's pass them in order. The second ability, Rest, just puts enemies to sleep, so essentially it's like a really great timeout. And they won't wake up unless their health drops below 50%. But if you just need like a little bit of damage reduction, the third ability, Pacify, will do just that. Whilst the fourth, Mend, will heal you depending on how many enemies you kill whilst the ability is active. With that, we now have the basics down. Good job if you're still with me. Let's move on to make your Equinox from simply good to very, very nice. For that, we're going to need this mod here, Duality, which you can get from New Loka or the Arbiters of Hexes. Duality will provide you with a clone of your other form when you switch with your first ability. Now, not only is this like really pretty cool, this clone will also stick around with you for 10 seconds and deal 300% damage with the weapon that you were holding. So let's say that I'm defending this objective here, I could be fighting by myself, or have my clone help me out with this amplified Amprex. I'd say just try this ability out with like a variety of weapons and I'm sure you'll love it. With that, I think we just made 2 minutes, so I'll flash up my build on screen and I will see you all next week.
Welcome to our tip of the week. My name is XandyPants, you can call me Xandy, and today, behold, we're talking Equinox. Light and Dark are a pretty well-established duo, so let's talk about fast and slow Equinox. 2 mini tips today. Let's start with how to take it slow. Well, hold on. For some reason, Pacify, Equinox's night form third ability, allows energy regeneration from sources like Energizing Dash and Trinity's Energy Vampire while it's active. Usually, toggled abilities like this, called channeled abilities, prohibit energy regen from some sources, but this ability doesn't. That might be because it doesn't charge you energy based on seconds it's active, instead charging for enemies it's affecting. So as you can see, I'm now near-ish to these enemies and I'm affecting them with my aura, so I'm losing a bit of energy. Now I'm going to go away and I'm going to stop losing energy. Just like that. And now if I use Energizing Dash and get near them, I will gain energy still, but just a bit slower because I'm now affecting these enemies. Doesn't seem to matter either way. But again, I don't pay energy constantly, which is maybe why that doesn't disable energy regen from passive sources. Another example of this behavior is Volt when holding one of his electric shields. So when holding an electric shield, you do pay energy for something, but you don't pay it per second. You pay it in Volt's case based on how far he moves while he's holding it. So you can see I do lose energy while I'm moving, and I stop losing energy when I'm not, and Energizing Dash will work with both of them. Now that I'm regenerating energy, I can still pick it up and move even pretty fast, and I still regenerate a little bit of energy. So again, maybe that's because this charges you energy differently. It doesn't charge you all the time, only when you're doing the thing that it's charging you for. Maybe that means these abilities don't count as channeled or toggled abilities, and that's why they let you regenerate energy. Either way, this is kind of nice. It gives you a way to stay tanky as Equinox without losing a lot of energy. You can use Pacify to keep your enemies weak and unable to attack you too much, while not having no energy, although Equinox's design does kind of prevent you from doing much else with that energy. Nightform 4th ability Mend would turn off the forms of energy regeneration that Pacify allows through, and Nightform 2nd ability Rest just hard crowd controls enemies, which isn't too exciting if you're already planning to weaken them with Pacify. Still, energy regen can help you offset potentially huge costs when using Pacify on a large number of enemies. And, you know, Peaceful Provocation is an augment. Okay, next hit, fast tip, go! You can go fast with the buff you get from transforming into Day Equinox. It's not that fast, but you can go kind of moderately fast. The stats it wants conflict with like all of Equinox's other build priorities, but you can be moderately fast for a long period of time. Again, kinda showcases Equinox's core problem in a nutshell: many strong abilities, almost never very strong simultaneously. But hey, they officially announced that they're adding a racing mode to the game, so moderate speed. I've been Xandy and you've been Dandy, and I hope you're now very speedy when you play Equinox in day form, unless you decide to take it slow with that night form energy regeneration. Thanks for tuning in to our tip of the week. Now, on with the show.
Woo! This is a polarizing weapon. Some players I know still have some pretty nasty PTSD over farming it because of the 5k mutagen sample requirement to unlock the blueprint in the dojo. I did that grind twice, by the way. Once before I hit partner and once again after I hit partner. So I don't want to hear anybody. But oh my god, is it worth it. This weapon has so much flavor. Probably because one of the crafting ingredients is a heaping bowl of salt, which is just angry sugar. It's an infested burst fire rifle that uses your health for ammo, but heals you whenever it lands a headshot. Which, I mean, the headshot mechanic can be a really reliable source of healing, making it outstanding for use with the likes of Chroma and other mechanics that require you to take health damage. But it's also got some pretty interesting stats. It's a status weapon with a pretty decent fire rate and some outstanding ammo economy because it doesn't actually use ammo. And on top of that, it does innate viral damage, which is just... Okay, so first off, let's get the obvious out of the way. I don't like heavy caliber on this weapon in particular. You can play around the negative accuracy, but in general, this weapon loves tertiary stats. Accuracy, recoil, projectile flight speed. All of these can make a really significant impact on how you play it. But if you happen to have negative stats in any of those, it's not too terribly difficult to play around them if you know how. We'll go over that more in a second. Secondly, because of its primary stats, the headshot gimmick, and the viral damage, this weapon is incredibly versatile. The obvious way that a lot of people build this thing is for status. You only ever need one viral proc per enemy, so stacking corrosive damage means you can strip armor crazy fast and then get that spicy viral damage modifier against that unarmored flesh. Here's the build. But one interesting thing to note is that even though the crit stats on this thing are really quite low, because of the way those crits interact with headshot multipliers and because of the viral damage of this weapon, it can consistently make use of hunter munitions. Sure, it had a bit longer of a time to kill. This is not what I'd say is like an optimal build or anything, but that was a 160 bomb bar dead in less than one clip, which is honestly, this is quite a bit better than what a lot of other weapons can boast. Both of these builds totally work without heavy caliber, by the way. I was just trying to show off the shortest theoretical single target time to kill for both of them. The simulacrum mains you make. So the point that I'm trying to make here is that the weapon is incredibly versatile when it comes to how you choose to play with it, giving you a lot of freedom in playstyle while still allowing you to take advantage of the weapon's healing mechanics. This means that this weapon, despite having not the highest Riven polarity, takes Rivens incredibly well. Rolled a crit chance Riven with negative accuracy, just stack fire rate and get close. You rolled a negative recoil status chance Riven, stack some flight speed and snipe. Anyway, I've shown you enough silly simulacrum theory crafting. This is my general use build, and it's fine for anything up to and including sorties and ESO. It's got a decent amount of armor strip, stabilizers there for some more consistent headshot heals, and the cult procs help slow enemies down to make those headshots easier to line up. So that's it for the Hema. If I had to rate it, I'd say 4.5 out of 5. 9 out of 10, whatever you want to do for this one, that's fine, because this weapon, it kind of just lets you do whatever you want to do, and it heals you for it. Anyway, I've already got the next couple of weapon reviews done, but make sure to let me know in those comments what other weapons you'd like to see featured, and we'll see if we can't tackle those on an upcoming episode. I like how last week I was like, hey, just come by a live stream and say hi, and then I didn't stream, but I had some stuff come up. I'm so sorry. Streams should be starting again tomorrow. In the meantime, make sure you check out all the other creators that were involved in the making of this episode. We've got Michel, Hydroxate, Xenogelion, and XandyPants. Make sure that you guys check them out. All the links to their channels and social media will all be down in the description below, as well as links to all the music that you have heard on the video today. But that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for a couple more uploads throughout the week, and I will see you guys in the next episode.